NTV.
Welcome back, and many thanks for staying with us on the #1 breakfast show in the country, Morning at NTV. We are going to be speaking about education. The Higher Education Students Financing Board was launched by the Ministry of Education in 2014 to run the student loan. Since then, they have actually registered some 10,041 beneficiaries, and the 7th cohort of the applications were received last year around September 30th for the degree holders and for the diploma holders on October 15th, if I'm not mistaken. I'm now joined by the Executive Director, CPA Michael Wanyama, to expound more on this conversation. What is the progress of the student loan? Very good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning.
Yes.
Good morning to everyone listening to us. My name is Michael Wanyama.
Good to have you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
So 10,041 beneficiaries are boasting right now for having, gotten this student loan. But what is the progress since the launch of the Higher Education Students Financing Board?
Thank you so much. A lot of progress has been registered since 2014 in terms of supporting the needed students who would have otherwise had a chance of attaining higher education. Because when we started in 2014 under a legal framework called we established under an act of parliament. So we have a very strong legal framework that supports our operation. When we started small, and that year, 2014, 2015, we supported only 1,200. And that year, we're only supporting undergraduate programs. But as we talk now, we support both undergraduate degree programs and undergraduate diploma programs. We have also spread out to a number of universities. When we started with only 12 universities. But right now, we are talking of 22 universities, both public universities and all private chartered universities. So there has been a growth in the number of universities.
Indeed.
At the same time, there has also been a growth in the number of diploma beneficiaries. Because right now we are boosting out of that 10,041, we are boosting of over 2,000 who are pursuing diplomas. So the number has been growing. And right now we are talking of over 10,041 students. But also at the same time, the programs that we are supporting have also grown. Because when we started with a few programs. But right now we are talking of all programs under science-based disciplines. So long as we are doing any program under what we normally call STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, call it a science program, you're eligible to apply. So in number of programs, we have grown the programs, there are over 136 being offered by these different institutions that we have talked about. Then any science program that is being offered under other tertiary institutions, those are the ones that offer diplomas. So in terms of those numbers, they have also grown. So we have seen a growth intake. Of course, largely we can say we have contributed to the growth of the number of students now attaining higher education.
So the viewer who is watching would like to know, how much money have you spent during this whole course of since 2014 on the student loans?
Well, that's right. Right now we are talking of overall 80 billion.
That is a lot of money.
Oh, that's a lot of money. Because when we started the program, we started with 6 billion. Then the following year, 2015-16, it grew to 12. Right now we are talking about 29 billion that we have as a resource from the consolidated fund. And when in totality, when you add all this money, we are talking of over 80 billion, yes, which we have given out to students. So
and we also do know that the deadline for degree holders and diploma holders was September 30th and October 15th, respectively. And we also do know that institutions were closed during this time. Some had not even released their admission lists. So don't you think some students might have been left out with this deadline being last year, 2020? Now students are going back to school in March. Don't you think there is a void?
No, we were quite flexible. Of course, this year was unique.
Yes.
We all know we have just gone through challenges, and the challenges are still there. But normally, this program always ends by July in terms of receiving applications.
So it's still open?
No. It normally ends by July. But you can see that this time we ended in September and October. Actually, we extended 4 times.
4 times, I remember, from May.
Yes, from May.
May to July, August.
And we were working closely with the tertiary institution to ensure that we don't leave out any of the eligible students. Because those are our clients. there's no way you can lock them out. Otherwise, then you not have the people to support. So we made sure that we worked closely with the tertiary institutions that were giving us their programs of admission. So
I don't want to lose my viewer, CPA Michael Wanyama.
Yes.
You're telling me right now applications for these student loans are closed.
Yes,
But would it be right because schools are just reopening in March?
That's right, but you see, the universities and other tertiary institutions closed their application process. You get it? Whether they are opening now, the process was closed last year by August. And the moment they closed, naturally we also had to start our process because they want us also to give them a feedback on who has been successful. So what we are now doing right now is that universities are just waiting to open, but they have the list of beneficiaries.
Is the recovery rate promising or worrying based on what we are seeing, the trend?
The recovery, of course, starts when one has completed the course. Now, we realize that we started in 2014, and the very, very first cohort that completed was in 2017, 2018. Now, upon completion, we give you 1 year grace period, you know, to allow yourself, reorganize yourself, be able to get something to do. But of course, we shall also be talking about other repayment.
I'm looking at someone who graduated maybe in 2019. Then you had the onset of the pandemic, the 1 year grace period being 2020, meaning I didn't find a job, but I'm a graduate. What do I do?
There are a few, I wanted to explain that. You know, because we need to talk about this recovery. And right now, all my staff are out in the field trying to talk to the beneficiaries, find out whether they are able to pay or not to pay, and also convincing those who are able to pay to start paying. And we have been receiving some money, even in this pandemic period, with all these challenges, because not all people are unemployed. There are few that are employed, and we have seen them paying money. As I talk now, there is some money. Of course, it has had a genuine effect in terms of our projection. We had projected to receive so much, but somehow there has been slackness in what has been coming in. But what I can say is that we are out there to talk to them, that in case you have any challenges in terms of paying back, come and talk to us, because the law permits it. In the event that you don't have anything gainful that you're doing, you talk to the board, and the board can keep on extending the period, bearing in mind that you'll never be unemployed throughout in perpetuity.
What if these extensions go overboard and I'm still not finding a job? What are the repercussions I should expect?
We have not noticed that.
Yes.
Because now we have just started the recovery phase.
I see.
But I can say that it's promising. Most people are willing. Because the viewers need to recognize that most of these students, learners, are appreciating that if it wasn't this government intervention, there would be nowhere.
Indeed, Mr. CPA Michael Wanyama.
And the moment you accept that, then even when it comes to repayment, you'll be willing to repay.
All right, we have 2 minutes left, CPA Michael Wanyama, and I would like to exhaust them and to talk about the fact that some students might want to continue with the course even after finishing their studies. Postgraduate scholarship. What do I do if I want to continue with my studies instead of getting a job?
Right now, the only cohort that we are supporting are the diploma, those who pursue a diploma, and when they complete and want to pursue undergraduate, they can come back. The law permits us to support even master's and PhD programs. And I want to inform our viewers that the board has already approved that. What we are doing is to look out for funding. The moment we get funding, then we shall be supporting master's program and even a PhD program. So the trajectory is clear. You can start from a diploma, and then we support you up to PhD program.
So as
right now, we're only supporting diplomas and undergraduate degree. But in future, that's where we're heading. If we look at our strategic plan.
CPA Michael Wanyama, before I let you go, there is also this contentious issue, e-learning, away from the traditional kind of education. Do you see demand for these student loans growing or declining in the wake of e-learning?
No, we see it growing. Actually, right now what we are discussing is that we need to support them to go, because that's the way to go.
Indeed.
You can see even in our meetings, we are through Zoom. Right now what we are also discussing, how can we support them?
All right. CPA Michael Wanyama, many thanks for having made the time to speak to us. It's been a very, very insightful conversation, and I hope we get you back again here.
Thank you so much for hosting.
Especially when the school resumes and students are there wallowing and asking for more student loans. We'll have you again.
Thank you so much for listening to me.
Indeed. Indeed. You're still watching Morning at NTV. We do have another conversation in the offing. Anthony Wameli and Morrison Rakakamba. Stay here.